Funny thing happened. Due to the movie being packed, me and my mother, who paid for the tickets this time around, had to sit up front. Now, about literally to the last 20 to 10 minutes of the movie, there was a guy that was with his girlfriend who she was more interested in the film than he was because he fell asleep and he started snoring. It was kind of hilarious. Some people in the theater was chuckling. I thought it was funny. It started getting annoying towards the end, but then the music blasted, then it kind of woke him up. But that was pretty funny. So that's my little theater story for this time around. And yes, I shaved my head off. If you don't know why, for the people that have seen me before, then you haven't been watching my videos because I've already stated why I've done this. So yeah, nothing new here. So I'm not going to go and talk about my hair. We're going to talk about Suicide Squad and what I thought about it, because people seem to sort of mag-take towards me when I make a review about DC, about a DC film. I don't know why that is, but I think I know why, mostly because the fanboys like to get on me about criticizing DC a little bit too much, but you know, I gotta criticize where stuff is due. Now, fortunately, as a moviegoer, I actually enjoyed Suicide Squad. As a movie critic, it has a lot of its problems. It's kind of mediocre, but overall, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it enough to where I said, you know what, not only is it better than Batman v Superman, but I possibly wouldn't mind seeing this again, and I wouldn't fast forward as much as I would through Batman v Superman. Like with Batman v Superman, I will only go for the Batman scenes and the Wonder Woman scenes. That's it. So that's a really short part of the film. And I mean like the Batman action scenes. Well, any scene with Batman in it was fantastic. Batman's also in this film, and so is the Joker, and I'm going to get to them towards the end of the review. But I really did enjoy, or should I say, I just enjoyed the film overall. So now let's get into it. So Suicide Squad was sort of like, it kind of came out the blue. We didn't expect this in the make a Suicide Squad movie. Of course, when it was announced, I made a reaction video towards it. Got some people to agree with me, how I said that I was more excited for Batman v Superman than I was for Suicide Squad. And then when I saw the Batman v Superman trailer, I gave it a lot of hits, and there was some backlash with that. Some people agree with me, some people were mad at me, and they said, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, this is just the first trailer. And so the first trailer was fucking garbage. I'm not gonna defend it. Later on, they did start doing better. But with Suicide Squad, I didn't really have that problem. I thought all the trailers were fine and very interesting and showed off the characters for what they were going to be. Now, I thought they did the trailers even better than Batman v Superman by not telling us who the villain was. And I'm not going to reveal the villain here, although I will say that in the first 10 minutes, you can guess who the villain is. As soon as this person, he or she is introduced, or whatever it is introduced, you will already know who the villain is. I guessed right away who the villain was going to be. I can't snap my fingers. But I guessed right away who the villain was going to be, and I was just like, oh, I saw that coming. We knew who it was going to be. Okay, so, but I do like how in the trailers they didn't they didn't show who the villain was going to be. If anything, they tried to make it more of a surprise, but you can guess once you see the movie. But at the same time, not revealing it like in any public affairs was very smart of them. I really enjoyed that. I really liked that aspect of it. So the advertisement for Suicide Squad was much better, and it actually kept that pace. To whereas the final Suicide Squad trailer came out, I was like, okay, you know, enough is enough. I'm gonna go see this movie. I say this with Marvel too. It's like, enough with the 400,000 trailers. I'm gonna go see it, alright? So I went to go see it, and I did enjoy myself. And like literally 30 minutes in, I lean over to my mother and I'm like, you know, I like this better than Batman v Superman. I actually like this a lot more than Batman v Superman. I'm not gonna say that I think it's a good film. I think it's an enjoyable film. So, especially if you know the comic books and you know these characters, you're seeing Harley Quinn on the screen for the first time, Killer Croc, Deadshot, El Diablo. You're seeing these characters on the screen for the first time. Captain Boomerang. I never thought I'll see Captain Boomerang on the big screen. I never really thought much of Captain Boomerang. I didn't really know much about him until Batman Assault on Arkham came out like, what, a year or two ago? So it's... so it's weird seeing him up there, and he's played by Jai Courtney, who was funny. So I'm glad to see him in something that I can actually, you know, really laugh at him with. Like, he seems to be enjoying himself. So now, he actually got a couple laughs in there. I think Will Smith was one of the funniest. Of course, he's so charismatic. But him playing Deadshot, you get kind of emotional with the character. You get invested with this character. Actually, most of the characters, at least 3 of them you do. And it's Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and El Diablo. You really get invested with them. Captain Boomerang, Katana, Killer Croc, they're just mostly like background characters. Oh, and I think that's Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood, who plays the military guy. I liked him too. You really do get into his story. He actually becomes a decent person towards the end. And it's so funny. Like, they literally have like a little hugging, and minor spoilers, they have like a little hugging moment, and Deadshot's like, no, come on, man, I don't do the hug shit. So, oh man, Will Smith had so many good lines in there. Viola Davis, fantastic as Amanda Waller. Now, this was the Amanda Waller I really thought, I felt was from the comic books, I felt was from the animated series, such as Justice League, and she does it so well. They could not have cast this any more perfectly, okay? Batman do make a few cameos as well as the Joker, but like I said, I'm gonna get to that towards the end. Now, what I enjoyed about the film was the characters. The writing was sort of like, okay, we're gonna rescue this person. Oh, this person gets captured. We're gonna rescue them again, and that's pretty much it. I was like, oh my god. Seriously, the movie dragged on for a little too long, in my opinion, and it was really starting to get to the point where I was just like, okay, you need the end now. And then when it finally ended, I was like, okay, you could have ended a bit sooner. We could have cut out some stuff. Now, from what I was told, that they cut out a lot of Joker scenes, and if you look at the behind-the-scenes footage, they have cut out a good bit of the Joker scenes. If anything, that should have been added on a little bit more, but I guess Joker was more like a cameo appearance. So, at the same time, I don't know whether I would have added more on as far as like certain characters and then removed from other characters. Like a character like Slipknot, he didn't have to be in it. But he was there to portray a certain thing about their about the chips that are placed in their heads, that if activated, their heads will explode. They will be killed off, and how much power Amanda Waller has over all of them. This is both seen in the comic book as well as the animated feature of Suicide Squad. So it's understandable. It really is understandable. I would say this Suicide Squad is treated more like heroes. Like, they're definitely villains. They're definitely bad guys, but there is a point where they could just walk away from everything and they choose not to. And I knew that scene was going to be in there, and I was wondering how they was going to play it out. And they do play it out, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, so that's what I did like. I do like the characters. I like that this is taking place in, what is it, Midway City? I don't know who protects Midway City. I know the Flash is Central City, right? And Star City is Green Arrow. So, the Flash does make a cameo appearance. He only has like one line in here. I'm like, I love you already. I want to see, I didn't really do a reaction video to the Justice League trailer, so the Flash was kind of awkward in that trailer to me, but seeing him in the suit and his reaction to him busting up a bank robbery by Captain Boomerang and capturing him was actually pretty funny. Seeing that was a nice little surprise. Thank you, DC, for that. I love the Flash. Glad you threw him in there. And that's literally the only cameo he has, and that's it. He's not seen again. And it's so weird how this is a huge thread, but like none of the characters like Batman or Wonder Woman, who's obviously in the city, not in the city that the Suicide Squad in, but who was in Gotham and in Metropolis, you know, she's traveling back and forth from Metropolis and Gotham. You think Wonder Woman will hear about this, or the Flash will hear about this, Green Arrow, or Batman, or any fucking body. There's a threat that's about to destroy the world, and none of these guys are around. I kept leaning over and saying to my mother, like, where the fuck is Batman? We know he's here, we know he's in this movie, and this is part of the DC Cinematic Universe. This is after Batman v Superman. They literally start the movie off reminding you that Superman is dead. We know he's dead. Where was the heroes? I don't know. I guess they had to give the Suicide Squad some time, enough screen time, and they did, so that's fine. Besides the characters, like I said, the writing could be definitely hit or miss. I thought the jokes worked. A good bit of them did work, a lot of them didn't, and some of them was awkward, weirdly placed, like it was just edited out of place and they just kind of threw that in post-editing. I don't know what was happening there, or they reshot something, and you can tell that a few of these scenes felt like they was reshots, but they did well, and some of them fit, and like a couple of them did, and most of the couple of them that didn't fit felt like with the Joker. They just kind of felt like they were just sort of thrown in there, or they didn't go as long. Now, Jared Leto has said that they cut a lot of his scenes, and I will be inclined to believe that. I definitely concur. It feels like there have been some scenes missing, especially with the Joker portion. They slightly changed Harley Quinn's backstory, but they didn't change it as much as where I said, okay, I'm not gonna like this. They changed it to where you can kind of understand, where it kind of still fits within the story. Like I said, if you're going to make changes to any type of material, I said this with Batman the Killing Joke, if you're going to make changes to any type of material, have changes that make sense. And if it makes sense, then it can work. Alright, so I've been talking for about 12 minutes, so let me get to what I didn't like. Like I said, the editing, the second half of the movie, the editing seems a little weird. Some of the scenes seem out of place, like I said, especially with the Joker. Batman's cameo, although loved his cameo. Like I said, it definitely felt a little bit, it seemed like it should have been more than, I don't know, I guess the Batman cameo was fine. I wished he was in the movie a little bit more. That's just my personal opinion. I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. So that's not really much of a con. I guess more backstory could have been given to some of the other characters. Like, really, we don't really know nothing about Killer Croc. If you know the video games, the comic books, you know, if you're a nerd like me, alright, you know who Killer Croc is, you know who Waylon Jones is, alright? You know who Captain Boomerang is. I didn't really know much about Katana. I wish we got more backstory on her, but I guess the little bit we got is fine. People have said like they could have got some more backstory on that. Like a lot of them didn't really. Some of the background characters didn't really make much of an impact. Most of the main characters was basically just Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and then El Diablo has like a little backstory which makes you feel for him, which is, oh my god, it's well acted. It's one of the most well acted scenes in the entire movie. Like the movie takes a break from all the mayhem and the shooting and the slapping each other with baseball bats, and Diablo tells his backstory, and his storytelling, just the way this guy delivered his lines was really good. I don't know why. I think that was possibly the best scene out of the entire film. That was when it was like, okay, this feels like a Warner Brothers top-notch film, when he was saying his backstory and they were showing the visuals of him with the fire, him using the bottle. You guys will know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. It's so well acted, and then the reaction from everybody in the room as he's telling his story and how he became, you know, El Diablo and what happened and how he ended up in prison, and how he's changing and how he doesn't want to be known as the devil. And at the same time, I don't know what's going on with DC and this sort of god complex that they're really doing. This was in Batman v Superman too, with Lex Luthor, but it wasn't as cringeworthy here. Here it made sense, and it came from a character who, in all respects, was better acted. Not to say that Jesse Eisenberg isn't a good actor. He is, just not as Lex Luthor. Totally miscast. Here it didn't feel miscast, so it worked. It definitely worked. These actors worked. There were some things that felt real comic booky. Where there's the part where a helicopter gets shot out the sky. And nobody dies. Seriously, the Suicide Squad helicopter gets shot out the sky. Nobody dies except the pilots. Only the pilots die in this movie. I have come to that conclusion that 3 helicopters have been shot down in this movie. It felt like I kept seeing the same fucking scene. Nobody dies who's a passenger. Only the pilots. I found that so weird. And, you know, everyone just comes off unscathed. You know, even Amanda Waller, who gets into a helicopter, her helicopter gets shot down. That's a minor spoiler there. Sorry about that. Her helicopter gets shot down, and she comes out unscathed. What? It seems to happen with every single fucking passenger. And there's even a scene with the Joker, and everyone survives the helicopter crash in here who's a passenger. I'll just leave it at that. There was another thing, the enemies in the film that was sort of like reanimated corpses for the evil person in the film, and what they can use is they can use guns and they can fight. No, excuse me. Oh God, they can use guns, they can fight, and they was talking about in the beginning how the military, the Navy SEALs, didn't want to engage this person, these guys. Bullets, because you can even shoot them in the head and they will still, you know, keep running at you. But yet Harley Quinn, who has no type of training, we know in the comic books that she was definitely an acrobat and she was very athletic, which is why she's so good at doing like physical attacks. But even Harley Quinn, with her fucking baseball bat, was able to kill these guys, and yet in an earlier scene, literally just 5 seconds before, 5 seconds, you just said that, oh, we don't want to engage these guys because our bullets will have little effect on them. What? Okay, so maybe you should all drop your fucking guns and get a baseball bat, but I guess that doesn't work because Deadshot can surely kill 100 of them, no problem. Makes sense. And there was just a couple of things in the movie like that didn't make sense, that didn't really, that sort of kind of disconnect, but you can get rid of your suspension of disbelief because it is a comic book movie, okay? You know, not everything like even Marvel does, it's going to be, it makes fucking sense. Let's be honest, okay? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I think DC was trying to make this sort of like their versions of Guardians of the Galaxy, whereas, you know, Marvel has their Guardians of the Galaxy. And you know what? So far, I do like this lighthearted DC, this sort of in between. Like, there are definitely some dark moments here, but it's not as gloomy and just the fucking depressing as Batman v Superman is. There's even more fucking color in this movie. And they're literally in a city at night where it's nothing but fucking gray. And there's more color in this film than Batman v Superman had in its entire vocabulary. Or something. I don't know. It's just, I enjoyed this more. That's why I took away from it. I just enjoy this more. Now, Batman's cameos literally runs for about 5 to 15 minutes. He's really not in there for that long. He's mostly just shown as the villain's point of view in terms of how they see Batman. And Batman does seem a bit of a nuisance. He seemed to come at the wrong times. You know, especially if a villain's having a little bit of their fun, and, you know, Batman all of a sudden just shows up like with Deadshot right in the beginning. Like, Deadshot's literally out with his daughter and they're shopping for stuff, and Batman comes out of nowhere. He's like, I got you now, Deadshot. I got you now. You fucking killer. I'm gonna kill you. It's so funny. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did Batman come from? But, you know, his cameos are nice. Are nice. I'm glad that they're included. There's also, stay after the credits, there's also a post-credit scene with Bruce Wayne and Amanda Waller on what exactly is going to happen in a future film, which we already know is Justice League. They revealed it at Comic-Con. I wish they would have waited and revealed the trailer now. Then it probably would have had a little bit more impact to say, like, why is he doing this? But whatever, we know now. Because DC really wants us to know, like, oh, here's the projects that we're doing, here's what's going on, here's what's gonna happen. So that's that. Now, the one that doesn't necessarily have the internet split, but it's the Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker. Yes, this Joker is more thuggish, he has his own gang, whereas the original Joker, or even the Dark Knight's Joker, played by Heath Ledger, has more of a psychological aspect to him. Like, he gets into your mind. He even had people in the audience when watching this movie, because I went to go see The Dark Knight when it came out back in '08. He even had people in the audience in the movie kind of agreeing with him that the world is only as good as it allows it to be, and how not everything is what it seems, and when the chips are down, I'll show you that people are very animalistic, that people can be very evil as me. What separates the good guys from the bad guys is just one bad day, and that's the Joker that I like. I thought Jared Leto did okay, especially with what he was given. I would like to see him in the role a little bit more. I think he needs a little bit more screen time to probably, you know, work on me a bit, or warm up to everybody in general. But from what I've seen here in this movie, besides about a couple of scenes with him, out of about 10 scenes, 10 or 11 scenes, only 2 I really enjoyed, and even then I was just like, okay, he's okay. My mother even leaned over to me and she's like, Heath Ledger was the better Joker. It's just, it's literally after his first 2 scenes, she was like, yeah, Heath Ledger's the better Joker, and she really wanted to go see Jared Leto as the Joker because that's one of her favorite actors. So I think that he should be given more screen time. I hope he gets some more to work with. He seemed to be having a lot of fun, so I will give him that. But I can also see why a lot of people are like, I don't like this Joker. Yeah, this sort of thuggish bling bling type Joker, I guess it's supposed to be for a newer demographic, but even a newer demographic doesn't really seem to care that much. So, I don't know. I was the one person that was skeptical about the tattoos. Actually, a lot of people were. I was skeptical about the tattoos because I thought it was definitely going to go down this route. He was either going to be like a gangster type Joker, or he was going to be like some sort of street punk type Joker. And either way, those Jokers don't really connect to me as much. I like the psychological Joker that can also have a street game. Like, you can also have a street game and still play the mind. You know, still be psychotic with somebody. So I prefer that a little bit more. Hell, even the Arkham games got that down a little bit better. Well, alright guys, that's it. How long has this video been going on? Let me see. 23 minutes! Okay, I'm gonna edit this down, so it's probably not gonna be 23 minutes. But from what it was, I enjoyed it more than Batman v Superman. If you like comic books, if you love DC stuff, I think you're gonna enjoy this. If you was like me, you was on the fence for Batman v Superman, you just thought it was okay. It didn't really make much of an impact to you. Like, if you got it on DVD or Blu-ray, and you fast forward through everything Superman related, or anything Man of Steel sequel-ish, or anything Lex Luthor related, just to get to the Batman and Wonder Woman scenes, this one you won't fast forward as much. There's only about, like I said, there's only about 2 scenes that felt like they were really out of place because the editing was much better here. So if they do make an extended version of this, I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I possibly won't see it, just like I didn't see the Batman v Superman extended version. It's just, you know, first impressions count for everything. This movie made a better first impression. But at the same time, it already dragged on for too long. I was sort of getting kind of bored to the last 10 minutes of it. And then something else happened and I'm like, oh my god, will this movie just end already? Okay, I didn't say oh my god, but I was like, oh, this movie's going on for a long time. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, this movie's still going? Just like this review is still fucking going. But, okay, so let's end it. So, my rating, this is the definitive rating. No, I'm just kidding. My rating on Suicide Squad is going to be 2.5 out of 4 stars, okay? 2.5 out of 4. I think I enjoyed it. This means that I enjoyed it, and I think it's slightly above mediocre, which I put Batman v Superman at mediocre. I'm putting this one slightly above it just to show my little bit more enjoyment towards the film. But at the same time, like I said, it did drag on too long. A couple of scenes felt like they didn't go anywhere. They was just thrown in there. Some characters could have got more detail, more backstory. Even if they was just gonna throw one shots in there, they should have explained them a little bit better. The reaction of I guess the government towards the Suicide Squad. I guess just the Attorney General is the one that just makes the decisions. I don't know. It was a funny scene with him, by the way, as well, with the General. But yeah, not explaining where the fuck the other superheroes were during this time. I just find it so hard to believe that they wouldn't show up for something like this. And like I said, the Joker scenes, you can tell they've been cut. Also, the Joker's relationship with Harley, we know how it is in the comic books. We know, for us nerds, we know how it is. it seems like it goes back and forth here. Like there's one time he drives his car into the bay, into Gotham Bay. Harley's literally about to drown. He leaves her there just so he can escape from Batman. But yeah, in another scene when when she drops into the Ace chemicals, which I don't remember that happening. That never happened, by the way, in Harley Quinn's original backstory. Also, those are chemicals, not acids. I don't know why people are saying that she dropped an acid. She didn't drop an acid. They was at the Ace Chemicals plant. If you know the Joker's backstory, you should know that's Ace Chemicals. But she drops into the chemicals, and she seems like she's about to drown, and the Joker is about to leave, which would have been very Jokerish, but he just like says, you know what, fuck it. He goes in and he saves her. So one moment he's saving her, and then the next moment he's leaving her, and he's saving her again. I don't know. It's just weird. Their relationship is very weird. They did manage to keep that weird factor, but at least in the original Joker and Harley Quinn relationship, her relationship with him was more on a dependent, abusive relationship. This is sort of like almost mutual respect for each other. He will even kill someone if they even look at her funny, or even says that she's hot. So that's how it is. Okay, so like I said, the film 2.8 out of 2.8. God, 2.5. I don't do that type of decimal. 2.5 out of 4 stars. You know, if you haven't seen it already, you can go see it. It'll be fine. Definitely be fine for, I guess, like a matinee or something like that. I wouldn't possibly pay full price for this. So I would go see it on $5 Tuesdays, or maybe matinee on Saturday morning, you know, something like that. And we saw it in the IMAX theater, and I was so fucking close to the screen, and I still managed to enjoy the majority of it. Yeah, the screen was literally like this, like freaking this, and I'm just like, oh. But we had reclined seats at my theater, so I was able to pull back and actually watch the film like that. So I had a better experience than what I thought. But don't sit up in the front row, man. You'll be missing a lot. Okay, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope this sort of calmed down the DC fanboys who have been just wringing my fucking neck over any DC movie. So I actually enjoyed this one. As a film critic, do I think it's good? No. But it's definitely passable, especially for the modern DC movies that are going on now. They've just been releasing, seems to me, they've just been releasing trash after trash. As far as like the Nolan films I thought was fine. I thought they actually brought DC back up. And then we got Man of Steel, and I'm not going to go into that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Alright, so like I said, once again, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like if you actually watched through the whole fucking thing. If you didn't, dislike, it's fine, it's okay with me. You know, DC fanboy, that's alright. You don't like me, that's okay. Alright, so the next film we got, Doctor Strange comes out in November. Now in January, now I'm gonna make a video once again talking about me leaving. Okay, this is the end of the review. You can leave now, by the way. This is just for people who's been subscribed to me before. I am going to make a video talking about me leaving the state that I'm in January. But for now, I think we got Doctor Strange coming out in November. We got Star Wars Rogue One in December. That's possibly going to be my last review for this channel. At least until I come back. I'll make another video when I come back from my work study. I'm gonna call it work study until I actually say what it is in another video. But so yeah, Star Wars Rogue One is possibly gonna be my last review of this entire year. I'm possibly gonna try to do the top 10 before like the New Year's begin. But you know, anything can happen between that time. I think we got Ben-Hur coming out next week, and I might go back and see that. So I might make a review on that. If I do, that'll be good. Let's see. Alright, almost a half an hour, alright? I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully. See you.